First, welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone is well and staying safe. We've obviously given some golf instructional tips indoors over the last few weeks, and that's going to continue today due to the snow and how cold it is outside. So you can still bring your practice indoors. It's a good excuse to get away from your computer, and if your eyes are sore, take a couple of minutes, implement a golf drill within your practice or within your day to improve your golf once you get back on the golf course. So I've had a couple of requests come through on Messenger over the last couple of days asking for some tips on over the top swing path. So I've covered it quite extensively over the last few weeks. I'm just going to talk about generally how the shoulders work and how we need to implement a certain thing within our trail elbow and how that's going to stop us it's going to help us stop swinging over the top. So what I mean by over the top is when we get to the top of the backswing, what tends to happen is this right shoulder moves out towards the golf ball. So if you think, right, if I put this golf club down, if I take my arm to, let's say, 90 degrees, when my right shoulder starts to move this way, so it starts to move forward, we have something known as internal rotation. So my arm wants to move internally on the way down, and we all talk about shallow the golf club. So when we get steep, so if we get to the top of the backswing, my arm moves, let's say 90 degrees. But when we start the downswing, if I get steep, my right shoulder wants to move internally on the way down. Trouble. So what I want you to feel like we're doing is I want you to pretend that you've got a cup of water in your hand. If I get internally rotated on the way down with this right shoulder, the cup of water is going to fall out my hand. So what we need to do, we need to flip that on its head. So what we need to feel like we're doing, we're getting more, like say, external rotation on the right shoulder. How do we do that? So the feeling to do it and actually doing it is completely two different things. So what I want you to feel like you're doing is your right elbow has to move forward, but your right shoulder has to feel like it's staying a little bit back. So we don't want the shoulder to move this way forward too much. When you feel like you've got a cup of water in your hand and you just feel like you're keeping the cup of water on your hand in that position. So the elbow has to move first ahead of the wrist angle. So it's almost that feeling that my right elbow's moving into my right hip. That's the feeling. It's moving in front of my right hip, as opposed to my right elbow moves back the way, my wrist moves towards my hip. So we flip on its head, right elbow to come down at the right hip. That's the feeling. That's going to feel like your palm's going to stay back, but that's just a simple feeling. Pretend you've got a cup of water in your hand and you're balancing the cup of water on your hand. That's the feeling. If you get internally rotated, the cup of water's going to go over the floor and we're going to have to clean it up. So get away from domestic duties. Let's feel like we've got more external rotation in this right shoulder. So it's almost that feeling. So it's almost on my right hip, elbow's moving into my right hip. That's the feeling. And then I'm keeping that cup of water in my hand. That is a feeling that's going to help you swing a little bit more from the inside. It's going to allow the club to shallow. If we get internally rotated, the shaft steepens. So we need to get a little bit more external rotation in that right shoulder. That's going to help you get a little bit shallow on the downswing. So instead of this, where the right shoulder moves forward, where we internally rotate, I want you to feel like that right elbow moves down. So it's getting the club almost as horizontal as possible. That's going to help you shallow the golf club. That's going to help you develop the feeling of what the club, obviously what the right elbow and club has to do in order to create that feeling. So get to the top, right elbow kind of moving down towards right hip, and it's the feeling we're keeping the cup of water balanced in our hand. That's keeping the right shoulder in the right position. That's going to improve your impact conditions. Let me know your thoughts in the video. That's getting you in a little bit shallower position on the way down, and it's going to help you stop swinging over the top. It's going to help you develop the feeling of swinging over the top. Put that in your practice and you'll get that in no time.